Zeno. So congratulations on Zom 100. You're the lead in this, Akira. And what I love about this character, it's such a fun premise. He finds purpose in his life and excitement from this zombie apocalypse. It's just the most unexpected time. What about the character, were you able to really sink your teeth into and appreciate about Akira?
What I really was able to sink my teeth into when it came to Akira was mostly just I want to say almost everything about him, like down to his personality, his work ethic, the way he looks at life. I know it's like through the lens of the zombie apocalypse, but the show opens and it's evident that he's a very hard worker. He has all these dreams and all these things that he wants to accomplish, and I relate to that heavy, and about working hard, working yourself to the bone, working yourself till you're exhausted, till you can't work anymore, in the pursuit of something that you want to do. But then when the zombie apocalypse happens and his like outlook on the world changes, even the way that he looks at the world, like his realizations of like there's never enough time to do everything that you want to do in life. So why wait? Why let anything stop you from doing what you want to do, even a zombie apocalypse, right? Following your dreams by any means necessary. The way he looks at like his own mortality and the mortality of the people around him throughout the course of the show has like really, really resonated with me. The way he connects with others, the way he wants to find his friends, his community, and down to like even episode 5 and like all having this dream of wanting to be a hero and wanting to help people and wanting to save people. Um, I'm going on this journey with Akira, and I deeply emotionally am with him like at every step of the way, because something he says has related to something either I feel or am currently going through.
Yeah, and we've seen the show really blow up, and I think that underlying message for like as goofy as the show can be, like that overall message is so touching, and I think it's even more relatable after the pandemic, since everybody
100%.
put their lives on pause, and this is saying, hey, go out for it, chase your dreams, and I think that's just had a huge impact on the show's popularity. So I was curious, how has it been seeing just the fans really come out and show their support, because this show has kind of come out of nowhere to this huge hit, and it's on Hulu, Netflix, Crunchyroll, it's all over the place.
Yeah, it's been great seeing the fan responses. When we did the first panel in Anime Expo, I wasn't sure like what to expect as far as the fans. I didn't know how many people knew of the property or had read the manga. But man, we did a panel to a packed house, to a full house, and that was like really, really indicative of how much people, even before the show had come out, like were fans of the property and of the title that the incredible creators have made. And then the show came out, and people were praising the animation, and I watched it and I was blown away, and I was like, man, like the studio Buck Films, like they went above and beyond, I think, anything they anybody was expecting from like a fun zombie apocalypse show. They really blended the action and the humor and the animation and the colors really, really well. And I think it really went over well with fans. And I'm really, really happy about that.
Yeah, it's so colorful. And you mentioned, it's based off a manga. And I was curious because I've talked to a few voice actors and it differs a lot. Do you actually read the manga before these roles, or what's your approach?
I do. When I got the word from the studio, we recorded here at Bang Zoom from casting director Mami Okada. Thank you, Mami. When I heard, I started reading manga immediately, just so I could get a feel of Akira. I wanted to have an idea of what I wanted his voice to be by the time we got down to recording the trailer. I wanted to already come in with ideas of who he was, who I thought he was, and how he should be played. And I wanted to know his journey. I wanted to know where he starts and where he ends up, like currently. So that way I can illustrate that journey artistically in the performance as accurately and as honestly as possible.
And it's been great seeing your growth as a voice actor the past couple years. You had so many standout supporting roles. Now you're getting lead roles like in this. How exciting is it to get this backing from the studios and seeing all your hard work pay off?
It's incredible blessing. I'm incredibly honored and thankful to be entrusted with, this role, any lead role in anything. It's an honor to be entrusted because it's sometimes it's work. It's you got to step up to the plate. It's Akira, especially that first episode was a lot of loops, and it was my first time doing so many. And like I'm just very thankful of that, to my directors and to the casting directors. It's directed by Bill, and me and Bill just went in the studio and we really, really worked hard on making this as best as we can make it. And I have nothing but gratitude for everyone, because it's something that I've been wanting to do for a while, and something that I felt like in my soul that I can do and I can deliver on. And so I'm glad to have an opportunity to begin to fulfill sort of that promise to myself and to people who like watch our dubs and things like that.
And one of the great parts of the show is that friendship with Kensho in Zom 100. Can you speak to just that relationship? Because it's great to see your character really bring his friends along, help them get a new perspective on life, and look at what Ken is obviously this terrible tragedy with these zombies, but using that as an opportunity to alter their worldview and look at it as a opportunity.
Yeah, I think it's a great like commentary on like how we are socially sometimes. Like we can be so inundated with work and like all these other things, busy things, that sometimes the people around us are the people that suffer the most. Our relationships are the things that suffer the most, and that's illustrated in the episode with Akira and Kensho, when they get into this argument and they don't speak for 3 years. They and because they get so caught up in their own lives and in their own worlds. And I just love that episode because there was so much like symbolism going on when Akira had jumped to the other side, and like it was light, right? And Akira was literally telling Kensho to come to the light, and like really be himself, and he rebirthed himself into wanting to be this comedian and doing what he wanted to do. And they reconciled because what else can help you reconcile with things that like don't necessarily matter. They had an argument, but it's like sometimes it's petty stuff that won't matter in a year, that won't matter in 3 years. What matters is the connection and the bond that you have with this person. And they reconciled that, in the wake of the zombie apocalypse. It has a real knack of like putting things in perspective. I think their friendship is so incredible. And sometimes you just need someone else to help make things like the zombie apocalypse bearable, right? And I think that's what's also kind of a beauty about their relationship.
And so I was curious, and hopefully it won't take a zombie apocalypse for this to occur, but what are some items that are on your bucket list?
Man, I want to learn the piano. I don't, hopefully it won't take a apocalypse to do that. But like learning the piano, I want to make a video game. I want to make a manga. Like a lot of my bucket list items have to do with like creating. I'd love to like swim in like a really beautiful foreign oasis. I think that sounds really, really fun. Right, really, really cool. Learn another language, paint. I think those are a few things on my bucket list.
I love it. You mentioned video games. You got the voice DJ in Street Fighter 6. That's such an iconic character. How exciting was it getting to put your own stamp on this character that's been around for decades?
Man, never in a million years did I think I would ever be in Street Fighter. As just a general fan of the franchise. Sometimes as an actor, you know that these things come around, but you never know if you'll ever end up in any of it, right? Like, so I grew up playing Street Fighter with my friends, and like being a part of it as one of like as a core character is an absolute like mind-boggling experience. Excuse me. And I'm so grateful for Capcom and next gen for like allowing me that opportunity and affording me that opportunity. So it's just been kind of a really cool dream come true.
Yeah, I feel like you've had a lot of those kind of like pinch me moments lately, like voicing
Yeah.
Ty and Digimon. Like, how wild was that? Because like when I was growing up, and we're about the same age, like Digimon was so huge. That's such an iconic role, and you got to voice him.
Yeah, I I didn't even know that we were gonna dub it. I had known a new Digimon had come out, and it was like it was like a reboot series. I didn't know that we were even gonna like dub it. And then even in the dubbing of it, I didn't know that they were gonna like have a new sort of cast for this one. There's kind of an established voice of Ty's Joshua Seth. That's the Ty I grew up with, right? So, when I auditioned, I like didn't necessarily know if it was Digimon or not, but I pretended like it was, and then it ended up being Digimon. But I didn't even, I didn't even think I was gonna book it. I was sick. Or my voice wasn't to par, like to where I thought it would go well with the casting directors. I don't know if I think I was either sick or like my voice was recovering from another thing. So I asked for like a couple extensions, and on the last extended day that I could do it, I did it. And I was like, dang, like I didn't get that because like just my voice hasn't fully recovered. And then I got an email or I got a call from my agent like not too long after that, and he said that I got Ty, and I did not expect. Out of all the characters that I auditioned for, Ty wasn't the one that I was expecting to get. So um, yeah, it was just super crazy, just super super crazy.
And then my last question for you: you have Persona 3 Reload coming up.
Another one,
Junpei, such a
yeah,
bro. He's great comic relief. What does
yeah.
it mean to have that character? Because it's such an icon of Persona 3, and that game is so beloved. So if I could just get your thoughts on getting to play Junpei, that's so exciting.
So absolutely, like I feel like there needs to be a new word that I can use other than like mind blowing or like dream come true or like crazy, right? Like it's I played Persona, and Persona 3 was my personal favorite, and so playing Junpei is like I went on Junpei's journey with Junpei like at the same time he was going on it, so it was very serendipitous, and it was very like divinely intentioned and timed, and I'm incredibly grateful, like Valerie over at PCB where we record the game. um I think like she sort of had me in mind for it. I'm really thankful that she like gave me that opportunity. Junpei was one of my favorite characters in 3 because his story is so deeply layered and nuanced and incredible. And I was deeply, deeply touched by and moved by Junpei's story. And so getting to sort of be able to tell it is an incredible honor. And like thank you to Atlas and Sega and like everybody who like took that chance on me and like let me be able to tell that story, because that whole game in its entirety is a hard act to follow, and so I'm just hoping I did it justice at the end of the day.